Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video. Thank you for being here. Today's video is going to be a little something different than a mechanical install, but it's something that every single one of us relies on, and it needs to be as perfect for us as individually as possible, right? And that is seats, what we plant our butts in. Something that will make or break a bike, in my opinion. Nobody likes a rock hard seat that needs 1,000 miles to break in, you know, something that is very uncomfortable to ride. You're only 100 miles down the road and you already start getting saddle fatigue. It's not good for any of us. I have finally found a company that makes incredible seats for Harley Davidson, and this company, based out of Southern California, is Badboyz Cycles. I'll put links for their information in the description. I also wanted to mention real quick before I forget, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway for either the Freedom Performance seat or the Scorpion Series seat. And I currently have the Scorpion Series on my bike now, and I will show you guys a little bit of that seat, and we'll go over the differences between the Freedom Series and then the Scorpion that's out there now. And then I will also show what this setup looks like while on the bike, solo, two up, with and without backrest between both configurations. So with that said, let's jump into kind of going over everything about these seats. They are made from very high grade marine quality vinyl. Now, some people are probably like, oh, they're probably crap if they're not leather. There's something about leather, I can tell you, does not hold up very well in the elements, especially here where I'm at in Utah, where we ride year round and we get snow, we get rain, we get blistering heat in the summer. These seats are holding up very well in everything I've thrown at it so far. So I could not be happier. And that's why I decided to purchase the Freedom Series. Now, with the Freedom Series, it's going to be different than the Scorpion in a few ways. One of which is its further reach. It's not a lot longer, but it's noticeably longer in the seat. You have a little bit more curvature kind of straight up and down in the back here. And then my wife's favorite for the Pillion, it's a lot wider on the back part here than on the Scorpion. And I'll show you that here in a second when we get out to the garage. But like I was saying, high grade marine quality. And you guys, when I say high grade, there's no attention to detail that these guys have missed. They are impeccably made, handmade, small mom and pop company, like I said, out of Southern California, and they are just knocking these out of the park with the craftsmanship. This double stitching is fantastic. I mean, there's not a single stitch in any of this or on my other seat that's out of place or crooked or loose or anything. Let me show you a little bit up close. With any of their seats, you can get the option of extended reach or standard reach. Now, I'm 6'1", 195 pounds, 6'1", and I have 16-inch bars on my bike. So the extended reach for me is perfect. The Scorpion out there is standard reach, so it'll give me a good chance to show you the difference between standard reach and the extended reach. Like I was saying, as far as the quality, I mean, I'm just kind of at a loss for words with how well these are made. Honestly, there is not one bad thing I can say about the craftsmanship here. I mean, they've literally hit every detail possible. There is not, like I said before, there's not a single stitch out of place. You got that perforation in there to help it breathe. You have 50% padding and 50% gel core that they put in here. And that's not just on the driver's seat. That's on the passenger pillion as well. So you have 50% gel core in there and 50% padding. Now, one thing I really like about these guys is with the backrest, the bracket is built in to the seat itself. Instead of having to mount it to your fender like some of the other backrests, this just goes straight into the back here. I'm very, very picky about the products that I buy and use, and if something is not up to my expectations or standards, I just don't use it and I buy something else until I find something I like. And I finally found a company that I truly, truly enjoy. Their products are like, they're flawless, they're amazing. And I've put over 3,000 miles on my Scorpion seat out there with no issues whatsoever, no fatigue whatsoever. So we got a little pouch here for the passenger on the back of the backrest. So now that we've covered pretty much the basics of the Freedom series, let's mount it up on the bike, and I can show you the key differences in how this sits on there between the Freedom series and the Scorpion series. Guys, so there's something I definitely want to address that cannot be left out. Since day one, with ordering my first seat, the level of communication and customer service from George or Elias has been, honestly, and I'm not exaggerating here, has been the absolute best customer service from any company, not just motorcycle related, from any company that I have ever done business with. They have gone above and beyond every step of the way to make sure that myself and countless others that I've seen buy their seats, they have gone above and beyond to make sure their customers are highly satisfied. And if they weren't, they made it right. There was a man on one of the Facebook groups who purchased, I believe it was the Scorpion series, or it might have, I'm trying to think of, it doesn't matter, details. He bought one of the seats. His wife wasn't happy with the pillion, or there was just something about it, just something minor, right? I mean, it wasn't any issues with the quality of the seat, which is all preference. I mean, that does not reflect the quality or the build or anything of these seats. It's just, like I said, it's personal preference, like anything in life. And they went above and beyond for this gentleman. They took the seat back and sent him a replacement. Actually, I believe they sent him a replacement and said, when you get the replacement, send us the other one back. And I really don't know of any other company that would go above and beyond doing something like that. And so with my own doings with them, literally a week, not even a week had gone by when I first purchased the Scorpion, and I had Elias call me and say, hey man, I'm just checking in to see how the seat's treating you and your wife, and if there's anything you need from us, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you have any issues or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. And like, I was blown away, to be honest with you. I've never had a company follow-up from a purchase, let alone go out of their way multiple times. And he had called back a second time a few weeks later and said, "Hey man, I just wanted to make sure everything's kosher, everything's good with the seat, you're enjoying it." And at the time, he had no idea that I do reviews or do any social media stuff. I was just, at the time, from what I thought, just, you know, another customer that purchased a seat from them. But they've gone above and beyond since day one. And to me, that means so much. Maybe just as much as the quality of the item that I purchased. The customer service, like you're gonna have to experience it for yourself. If you're contemplating going with, like, you know, a Saddleman or the road sofa or a Mustang, I honestly think you should give Badboyz Cycles a try. And for our subscribers only, they're actually doing a promo code to give you guys a discount, and that's RGN11 at checkout, and that will give you a discount and save you some money. Again, that's RGN11. Don't think about it too long, just do it. I promise you, you will be absolutely happy. I've had Saddlemans, I've had Mustangs. This is by far, hands down, the best bang for your buck, and something that's going to last for a long time. And there's no bullshit break-in period like some of the other seats require. Now, there's right out of the box. These are incredible, incredible. All right, enough talking. Let's go to the garage. Some of you by now know Lilith, my 2018 Road Glide Special. And as you can see, we've got the Scorpion series driver's seat and passenger pillion on there. And just like the other one that we were just showing you, stitching flawless. Like I said, over 3,000 miles on this seat so far in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and it is showing absolutely no signs of wear. The passenger still holding up well. It's not sinking down. But like I was saying before, I need something that will sit me a little bit further back. So like I said, the Scorpion is their lowest sitting, lowest profile seat. Still very, very comfortable, even though it looks thin on there. We'll show you just how sit compared to the Freedom. So like I said before, I'm 6'1", so I'm not short by any stretch of the imagination. I'm pretty much all the way back. I got my tailbone right up against the passenger pillion and the back of the driver's seat, and my nuts are damn near on the tank. I mean, it's still super comfortable. I wanted something that would put me a little bit further back. So when I spoke to Elias, he said, go with the Freedom series. So that's what I did. I mean, I trust the guy, based off of our conversations and the customer service alone, I'm going to obviously go with his recommendation. So we went with the Freedom series. This would be good for somebody, I would say, that's probably 5'9", 5'10", and under. And it also sits real low. For those of you who are vertically challenged, it's going to give you more space or more a shorter distance between your butt and the ground where your feet plant. All right, so let's get the Scorpion off, and we will get the Freedom installed. These are super simple to take off. we're just going to get our backrest out of the way. They send a bracket. Or they send you a bracket in case the one for the Harley isn't long enough. Sometimes the studs that come out of the fender aren't going to be long enough. Luckily mine were on my bike, so I was able to just use the stock one, but they do send you a bracket with longer studs that you can use if you need to. So as you seen that came out super simple. It's like that, lifts out, boom, passenger pillion's off. So there's kind of how the Scorpion looks solo. I personally like the look of a solo seat, but that's a sharp looking, I mean, on its own. That looks really good. And I was talking to Elias, and I think they said on special requests they can do matching tank bibs that'll match the stitching and everything, and I'm going to look into getting one of those ordered at some point. So there is the Scorpion set up in solo mode. Looks great. I mean, what's not to love? The thing looks amazing. Okay, so queso, queso dip. All right, now we'll get those bolts out, and it's just these two bolts. I don't remember what size they are. I believe it's a 15 millimeter. Maybe 6 now, 15. And I like how this is contoured in the back that hides these bolts. It's a real slick looking design. And I like the fact they're powder coated black, so it hides even better up against the black material of the seat. And then this is just going to lift up obviously off your studs, slide it off, boom, done. Let's get the Freedom Series on there, test the fit, the extended reach, and then take it for a little spin. All right, so while I got these off, I can give you a little side-by-side, better comparison. So this one here is going to be our Scorpion seat. This is the one we just took off. And then the one on the left there is going to be the Freedom Series. Now, you can see the Scorpion's a little bit wider in the back, but with more of a shallow, kind of a more gradual slope. With the Freedom, it's not as wide in the back, but it's definitely longer and sits up a little bit higher on the tongue here, and then it's more of a vertical change in the back. You can see the differences there. I'm going to lower you down, might be a little bit easier. You can see it's, like I said, you got more of a rounded edge in the back on the Scorpion, and then on the Freedom, it's more straight up and down in the back, and then a little bit longer in length, and that's because that's going to be the extended reach. Now with the passenger pillion, or pylon, or however the hell you want to say it, the one on the right is from the Scorpion, and then the one on the left is going to be the Freedom. And my wife, she's very petite. She's about 5'4" and 120 pounds. She said that the Scorpion one, the one on the right, she said that one's a little bit too narrow for her liking. So I think she's gonna really enjoy the Freedom series a lot more, because as you can see, it's a lot wider on that back end. But she was also used to the Harley Touring mattress before we switched over to Badboyz cycles. So it was quite a bit of a drastic change for her, noticeably, to go from that to this. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the size of this one, because there's not. I mean, it's a good sized passenger pillion, especially compared to some of these other manufacturers. That's still a real good size. Let me break out my tape measure and get some measurements for you guys if you want it. The Scorpion, the front of it is about 7 inches wide, and then in the back it's about 10 3/4. And then on the Freedom series, it's about 7.5 on the front, and in the back it's about 12, well, exactly 12.5 on the passenger pillion. And we move over here to the driver's side, or driver's section. We got a total length from the back to the tongue of 16 7/8, with a vertical change of 4 1/4 on the back, and then overall length of 24 inches, or 2 feet. So again, that was the actual sitting area is 16 7/8, so damn near 17 inches. And then wide, we're looking at 11, let's see, 12, let's see, 12 and 7/8 from what I can see on the Freedom. And then the sitting area on this one's going to be about 14.5 in width, but the length is going to be about 15.5. The Freedom series sits the rider about 1/4 inch higher than the Scorpion. So hopefully those measurements will help some of you. Now let's get it installed on the bike. The first step on installing the Freedom series, we're going to take our hardware off and just leave the white washer on there. And like with every other Harley seat, we're going to just slide it as far up as possible into this tongue, this bracket under here. Had my apologies, guys. Guess my phone got too damn hot and it shut off, and I didn't even realize till after I was done getting all these buttoned up. So anyways, all I did was you just lift up this back piece to put your bolts in and tighten it down and make sure they're tight. And they just sit on the stud like that. It leaves enough room, a gap here, for our passenger pillion. All right, guys, so this bracket right here they have it installed so it's doesn't damage anything during shipping. You just got to remove these 2 screws and flip it around. Little brackets right here. These are going to slide underneath and kind of just fork into those bolts, those little grooves that are in the bolts. And you want to make sure those are actually in there. So what I do is just lift this up, make sure you don't scratch your paint or anything doing this. Just kind of look down in there, make sure it's lined up. Yep, they are on there. And that is that. Passenger side is on. Take our security screw, put that back on. I'm going to loosen this just a little bit and see if I can't slide that up just a little bit more. There we go. Look around a little bit. It's because I didn't have it slid up all the way. There we go. And just like that, Freedom Series is installed. Like I said, guys, if you want a chance at winning one of these free of charge, all you got to do is subscribe to this YouTube channel and then give Badboyz Cycles a follow on Instagram and TikTok. And that's it. Get yourself a $800 or $900 seat for free just by being a subscriber. So once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be doing our drawing, and we'll give you a choice between either the Freedom Series or the Scorpion. But these are beautiful seats, you guys. I'm telling you, you do not want to sleep on that. Oh, and before I forget, the backrest just slides straight down in between both seats, and the catch is down there in the bottom seat. So, and you want to make sure your that bolt facing forward. That way you know it's catching the grooves in the right spot. So let's sit on this and see how it compares. Do a side-by-side snapshot of before and after. Oh yeah. Yeah, you see how much further back I'm sitting, and Elias said it would sit about 1/4 inch higher. I really don't notice that 1/4 inch in the height difference between here and the ground. I really don't. But man, this is nice. And even back here, it sits up a little bit higher, so there's a little bit more lower lumbar support. So that's beautiful. I'm gonna take this baby for a rip down this neighborhood, and we'll see you on the next one. Again, if you want in on the giveaway, we're giving away a seat and a set of CFR dual pipes once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you want in on that drawing, make sure you're giving us a follow here on YouTube. Much love, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.